Hi everyone, it's Stenila again with the Maverick Kitchen series. Welcome to our next quick recipe. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very tasty and very simple saltine toffee bark out of 4 simple ingredients. Now if you're anything like the responsible daughter that I am, and you totally did not forget that Mother's Day was quickly approaching, and you're totally not in a rush to find something to gift your loving, hardworking, caring mother. So anyways, we're gonna get into the recipe. This is super tasty. I love making this. It's super simple and it's a nice snack to have. It's a nice treat to gift to other people as well, if you're sharing it with friends or if you're just sharing with your family or even gifting it to your mother. So let's get to the actual recipe. Alright, for this recipe you're going to need some brown sugar, some saltines, some semi-sweet chocolate chips, and some butter. Now the sugar, I have the light brown sugar. I think it tastes much better if you have the dark brown sugar, but that's just a personal opinion. This is all I could find at the store today, so that's what I have, but it still works. Hey guys, real quick, I forgot to mention there's one more ingredient that you need. You're gonna need some chopped nuts. So I like almonds. You can use pecan nuts, walnuts, cashew nuts, whatever it is that you like, but just have some of this on hand as well. Okay, so before we start anything, disclaimer, just go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. I don't know how many times I've been following a recipe on YouTube or something, and then I'm following all the steps and I'm doing all the prep work, and then finally they say, and place into your preheated oven. I don't want that to happen to you, so go ahead and preheat it right now so you can do that. Now the first thing that you're going to do is take a baking tray and line it with some parchment paper. I did not have any parchment paper on hand, which is why I'm using foil paper instead. It works just as well. The main thing is to not let anything stick onto the baking tray, so just line it with some parchment paper or foil. Now we're going to take our saltines, and you don't really need the entire box, honestly. You're just going to need one sleeve. You're going to take it and line the baking tray with it. I'm literally just gonna place this up here. And hey, if the saltines break, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal at all. Alright, now as you can see, I have lined the entire baking tray with saltine crackers. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put a pot or a pan on the stove and turn it on to about medium. And we're going to add 1 cup of the sugar and 1 cup of butter. Okay, so I went ahead and added the butter and the sugar. We're just going to give it a little mix. Kind of let that heat up and come to a boil. So it's going to take a little bit. Alright, now as you can see, the mixture has started to boil and bubble up. Now once it comes to a boil, you want to let it sit there and boil for about 3 minutes. You still have to stir once in a while so that it doesn't like stick to the bottom. But so yeah, once it starts to boil, give it another 3 minutes in the pot. Alright, now it's been about 3 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and gently pour this over the saltines. And it's on here. Go ahead and use your spatula or your spoon or whatever to kind of like spread them across the saltines. Make sure most of the saltines on top are covered with the caramel. So now as you can see, the saltines are completely coated on top with the caramel that we just made, and now we're going to pop this into the oven. Be very careful. Now that's going to sit in there for about 6 minutes, and then we'll come back to check on it. Alright you guys, so it's been about 6 minutes now, so we're gonna go ahead and take this out. Ooh, okay. Now while it's still hot, you want to go ahead and sprinkle some of the chocolate chips all over. And I'd say use about 2 cups of chocolate chips. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. And we're going to let that sit there for about 5 minutes so that the chocolate can start melting from the heat of the saltines and the caramel. Alright, so as you can see, the chocolate is kind of started to melt, so we're going to go ahead and use our spatula or a spoon or whatever and kind of start spreading the chocolate as well. It becomes this nice and smooth layer on top. Alright, now that all the saltines have been coated in the chocolate, before the chocolate starts to harden up, and to go ahead and add some of the chopped almonds that we have. Oh, okay. Now this is the point at which you can get really creative. If you like, you can also add some pretzels. Just chop some pretzels up in just tiny little pieces and add that. You can add a mixture of different types of nuts if you like. So you can have almonds, cashew nuts, pine nuts, whatever it is that you like. You can also add some M&Ms on top. Now if you're going for, I know this is super early to be talking about Christmas, but to me it's always Christmas throughout the year. But if you want to think about a Christmas themed toffee bark, you can always go for some Christmas colored mini M&Ms, some peppermint candy that you can crush and sprinkle on top. You can also add some marshmallows, something like that, you know. So you can vary what you top it with depending on the theme that you're going for. But this is the most basic form, is caramel, saltines, and chocolate, and then some almonds or whatever nuts to top it off. Alright, so now as you can see, we've kind of evenly covered the top with some almonds. Now you want to let it sit and kind of set. I like to leave this in the refrigerator. I like to leave it in the freezer actually, so that it can cool down and chill and set in place, so then it'll be easier to break it up into chunks. So we're going to leave this in the freezer for a little bit. Alright, now I just took this out of the freezer. It's had some time to sit and set in place. So now all you have to do is kind of break them up into little bite-sized pieces, and then you're good to go. If you want to be really precise, you can go ahead and use a knife to kind of like cut squares. Or if you're like me and you don't really care about like having perfect shapes, you can just, you know, kind of break them up with your hand like this. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you do end up trying out this recipe at home, definitely post some pictures in the comments below. I'd love to see what kind of creative topping ideas that you guys could come up with. Follow our Facebook page if you'd like to see more quick recipes and more quick crafts that you can try at home, and some recipe hacks as well, right? So all kinds of stuff are coming out every week, so definitely follow our Facebook page if you want to keep updated. And also, let me just say, Mother's Day is approaching really quickly. You can try to make this for your mom or your mother figure in life and see if they like it. And I just want to say to all the mothers out there, and including my mom, just thank you for everything that you do for us. I cannot express this enough. There's no words to express how hard you guys work to take care of your children, so, you know, to raise us. So I just want to say thank you to all the moms out there. Have a happy Mother's Day, and I'll see you guys next week.